How you guys doing? All right. 2 weeks in, huh? 2.5 weeks. So I had a good scrimmage today. 75 plays exactly. That was our goal. We did a few live reps on Thursday. We did about 14 live reps Thursday. We did another 17 on Tuesday. So usually about 85 plays. We felt good about what we got done earlier in the week, and kept just a couple guys, especially in the secondary, out. Nothing major with injuries. Just making sure we keep them healthy, and got some young guys, especially in the secondary, a chance to play. And overall, I think we came out clean. So it's a good day.
How closely do you track all the live reps that you do throughout a training camp? Is there a number you're trying to get to?
Yeah. We had the 2 scrimmages, and then we had really 4 other sessions. And so that's it. Each session was about anywhere from 14 to maybe 20 plays tops. And so really try to just really focus. And even the scrimmage today, we got some red zone early. The script would have called for more red zone at the end, so we pulled it out a little bit further to we felt we got the work we needed. So we adjust, and we do track definitely the situations that we're in and what we're trying to accomplish. And once the coaches feel good about it, offense and defense, we move on to the next thing, whether it be throughout the week or within the scrimmage.
Who looked really good today?
Carson Bruner had a nice pick on defense today. Really nice pick. I think when you have Asa and AC in there in the secondary, they didn't have a pick or anything, but the defense does a nice job. Communication's clean. Everything's really sharp. Just seems like we're always a step ahead. They know what's, not what's coming, but they know the tendencies, and they do a great job. I think overall, a guy like Thule's had a really great camp. Continue to see improvement out of him. I think he's a difference maker. ZTF had a couple sacks again today. Did a nice job there. I think our offensive line's done a great job all week. Really made drastic improvements. It's helped our quarterback play out, and they've all gone to another level because of it. But today, ZTF found his way in the backfield. Braylon Trice has been strong. When I add this whole week up, just the physicality he's played with, he's been consistent. So offensively, a guy probably the running backs, Wayne and Will, both had some really nice plays. They did what they were supposed to do, and were really consistent and broke some tackles. Wayne showed some physicality on some runs when we needed it. Taj Davis had a really good last week and a half, 2 weeks. I really like the way he's playing. So he's really coming along. Jalen McMillan had a couple big catches, a couple of big explosive plays. So those guys all did a nice job.
Is it safe to assume you don't have a starting quarterback yet?
Yeah, no, not yet. And we'll go through the process here a little bit, making sure we decide, talk about it throughout the weekend, going into the early part of the week, and then we got to make sure we handle it well with the guys, the quarterbacks, and as well as internally just with the team. So I just want to make sure that's always, having gone through the years, that's always a big part of it, is just making the right decision, communicating and talking through, because you got 3 guys, and for 2 of them it's a hard deal to go through. So you want to make sure you're handling it right, and with the rest of the team, making sure everyone understands where we're at too. So it might be a few days down the road before we decide and it's out. So
do the reps start shifting Tuesday or whatever?
Yeah, especially because we've been pretty much balanced for the most part. I mean, we try to make it balanced 3 ways, between the ones and the twos. So we definitely got to transition, like you're asking, to where the ones are, the one quarterback is taking reps with the ones. So
how close is Richard Newton getting back to full health?
Who?
Richard Newton seems like he's been limited, it sounds like.
Yeah, he hasn't really gone live or nothing. He's doing everything he can. He's doing everything he can. He just hasn't done anything. He's easing back into it. It just takes time, and that's part of it. And we knew it would take a couple weeks, and so he's doing everything he can. And I can't wait to see him back out there, because I know he's made a lot of plays for us over the last year in particular. So
that's kind of a similar question. Tuitele seems like he's been limited. Where is he sort of at in his progression right now?
Yeah, we're playing it. He can play. He's a little dinged up. He can play. Probably a little bit limited just with his the way he's dinged up. I don't even want to call it an injury, just the way he's dinged up. So we're hoping to just get some snaps out of him, especially here early, and as he continues to, the fatigue is always for his injury. And I don't want to get into the details of what it is. That's just the biggest thing. So he's doing a good job. He's coming back, and hopefully we'll have him at full strength here, at some point.
What does Sam Adams give you as a running back that's allowed him to separate a little bit?
Yeah, he. I really think at the end of last week and early this week when we were going to live drills, he probably was a little more slippery inside than I envisioned him being, and he's been consistent catching the ball, just solid all around. He seems to have picked up the offense pretty well, and so he's in the right places. He had a good, decent scrimmage today, so probably didn't have the chance to be highlighted as much as the other guys did when they got their number called, but he's done a good job of being consistent, and he's certainly there in the mix.
Does Wayne and Will, do you feel like they've kind of separated themselves as a top two in terms of the running back room right now?
Wayne for sure, and Will's right there in the hunt, with Sam and CD. CD had a couple carries today, getting back on the field. Got some live reps in there. So, but Will showed certainly out in space. Had some good runs actually too. Now that I think about it, and had some nice receptions, and that seems to be a huge strength of his, and that versatility. But does not shy away. We had him in the red zone here. Did not shy away from being physical and getting some hard yards as well.
Is there anything going on with Aaron right now, Dennis?
No. They're rotating in. It's just when you have that many guys, it's hard to get everyone a ton of reps. So, yeah, no, Aaron's good.
What would you say each of the quarterbacks has improved? If you had to pick one thing for each guy, where have you seen them improve?
I think Sam's playing faster than he did. I think ever since the spring game, he got some confidence and he's played faster. I think Dylan's he's always had, I think, and I'm taking this from what I even heard before, and you can see it on the film, he's always had kind of people call him gunslinger mindset, but I think he's really controlled that, and he's got tremendous arm talent, and I think Mike's just been solid, consistent day in and day out, does a great job picking up, seeing protections and getting us in the right plays, and he knows what the offense is supposed to look like too, so that helps as well. But he makes the plays when he needs to, and as between he and Dylan, they can rip it definitely from one side of the line to the other, which puts a lot of stress on a defense from sideline to sideline. And time and time again, what you've seen from Sam is that he's a nice little, especially balls down the sideline. He puts a little air under it and lets guys go get it. So they all have their little strengths, but it's all going to be the same play calls and the same system for the most part. No matter who the quarterback is.
What's the biggest unknown? When we came out of here last year at this time, this was a top 20 team supposedly, and then they came out and they weren't very physical on either line, and that was the surprise I think to everyone. What are you worried about or wondering about how it'll hold up in 2 weeks?
Yeah, that's probably one of them. I mean, if you forced me to have to pick something, I think we're greatly improved. I think we're rock solid on understanding our fits, defensively. I think playing with confidence is a big part of playing physical, so defensively I think that's a big part of it, is just really believing that, hey, I'm doing my job, and if I do my job, the guy next to me is going to do his, or behind me is going to do his, and so I think that's helped us. That area, and I think our offensive line definitely is in sync. They're more in sync with what we're trying to do, which when they're all working together, now they're opening up holes. And so I think a lot of it is just really understanding what the goal and objective are of each play, what the calls and what the adjustments are of each concept, and executing it. So the physicality part, until we play a game, I can't really come to you, and so that's why I would say, probably you're hitting the nail on the head. And like, is that one of the things that we need to, continue to work on, and that we're wondering about.
You mentioned Taj Davis. There are so many wide receivers who have made plays, it seems like, in camp in the past. You got, McMillan, Polk, Rome, Taj. You guys have been very high on Giles. How many wide receivers do you feel like can produce in this offense realistically?
Yeah, I think a lot. I mean, we've had as many as 7, that are on the field in the rotation. You have your guys that are the go-to guys, the ones that take most amount of plays, but get the ball, most targets. But I think you can get it easily into 6 and 7, 5 for sure. I think we got that. I think we're at 5 to 6 right now. We're continuing to try to develop. But if we have 6, I feel like we're in a good spot. And I think I feel good. I mean, Taj and JP had a really nice big play, explosive play today. Came out and had a great scrimmage.
Did it look like you had a bunch of former players out today?
Yeah, it was. We got a little alumni gathering going on here as soon as I get done with you, and have some lunch with them. And they came out here, trickled out here towards the end of the scrimmage or during the scrimmage, and get to have a chance to sit down with them and show our appreciation. We sang the school song together, the fight song, and they laid the groundwork for us to be able to have great support, beautiful place to play, and a lot of history and tradition.
How do you balance kind of the stuff that you need to get done here with the team with kind of those kinds of things, with the outreach and learning more about the program and the tradition and all that stuff?
Yeah, and I think that's part of it. I think that's part of what motivates you and gets you driven to have a great year. Yesterday we did we had, or 2 days ago, we had kind of a look back on history, and our great one right here, Jeff and JG, Justin Glenn, did a nice little presentation on the history of the program and, the great years and some highlights here and there. And I want our guys to understand, I want myself, I learned something too, and we need to know where we came from and who we're playing for and who did it before us, and the blood, sweat, and tears that were all laid out on this field. And we want to make it a better place just like they did for those that come after us.
Did the trip to the VMAC get your guys excited about what could be next for them?
Yeah, it was perfect timing for us. It really was. And if there was one practice that I was a little disappointed in, it would be the practice before that on Wednesday. And so you look at, and you've been doing this long enough, kind of when you're going to hit that spot in camp where you got to have a change of pace. And we identified that. It worked well with the scheduling for the Seahawks facility and the VMAC, and they were gracious enough to allow us to come over there. It was a good. We had probably the most just energy, at the end of that practice as we've had it, all year. And I don't think it was just because of the Seahawks situation, us practicing there. I think it was me challenging them after a little bit of a dip on Wednesday's practice, and it wasn't like there was poor execution in Wednesday. It was more of just the swagger, the energy level not being sustained for the entire beginning to end. So they've done that since then, and I challenged them, and man, it was a rowdy practice. It was a lot of fun. Guys were flying around. We finished with 14 plays going live, and plays were being made on both sides, including some hard hits that popped the ball loose a couple of times.
Coach, now that you're 2 weeks removed from your first full offseason at Washington, how is it compared here as opposed to other schools you've been at?
That's a good question. I mean, I guess I'm just focused on us right here, we have high expectations, I think, wherever I've been. But I just feel like we're in a really good spot. I think our coaching staff has laid a great plan and put a great plan in place, and our guys have believed in it and trusted it, and they have been grinding. And their bodies are feeling a little bit. I was joking around from yesterday. The best thing about I remember what practice 14 was like and how that felt, and that's right where they were at. And today was 15, so they're gonna get a day or two off here down the road, and they deserve it.
All right, guys, we gotta let him go.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.